At the beginning of the movie, we see a man holding a child while hanging from a rope. This man works for the fire department. A building caught fire, and while rescuing the child, he jumped out of a window and was now hanging from the rope. Before anyone could save him, the rope caught fire and snapped, causing him to fall. Luckily, the man was completely fine, and the child also landed safely on top of him. The child quickly got up and ran to his family, while the man also got up and walked toward them. He asked the child for his name, but no one responded. It seemed like no one could even see him. Confused, the man suddenly heard a voice behind him calling his name, Kim. He turned around and saw a man and a woman smiling at him. They looked extremely happy to see him. Kim then looked in the other direction and was shocked to see his own body lying there. That's when he realized the truth. He was dead. The Kim standing here wasn't his real body, it was his soul. The two people who could see him, a man and a woman, walked up to him. The woman checked Kim's card and became very excited. She told him that he was a paragon, a pure and ideal soul, which is very rare among humans. They explained that Kim had to go through 7 different trials within 49 days. If he passed them all, he would get a new body and be reborn on Earth. They also tell him that they are guardian angels who guide souls. There are 3 guardian angels. 2 are here to take souls to the afterlife, and the third one, their boss, goes to the place where humans' final rites happen. The woman's name is C, and the man with her is Angel B. Their leader is called Angel A, so the 3 guardian angels are named A, B, and C. But Kim is still very upset about his death and wants to see his mother. The angels tell him that he can't wander around on Earth. At that moment, a portal opens in the sky, a gateway to the afterlife. It pulls Kim's soul in. In the next scene, Kim arrives in the other world. There are many other souls like him, but Kim gets a special welcome because he is a paragon, a pure soul. However, to prove his innocence, Kim must go through 7 different trials. The 3 guardian angels are there to help him. The first trial is in the hell of murder. This place is for people who have committed murder or caused someone's death. When Kim looks down, he sees a massive lake of boiling lava with thousands of souls being punished. Then he is taken before the god of murder. The god of murder has 2 assistants. One of them accuses Kim, saying that years ago a fire broke out in a building where Kim's colleague was trapped. Kim could have saved him, but instead he chose to protect himself and left. Because of this, his colleague died. Hearing this, the second assistant says that Kim is guilty and should be thrown into the lava. But the god of murder reminds them to speak respectfully since Kim is a paragon soul. The assistant then says that if not death, Kim should at least be punished for 5 years. At that moment, Guardian Angel A steps forward and asks the god of murder to reconsider. He explains what really happened that night. Kim's colleague was trapped under a huge rock. Kim tried to lift it, but then he heard someone else crying for help. His colleague told him that the rock was too heavy and that he should save the other person instead. So Kim helped that person escape. That night, Kim saved 8 lives. He wanted to go back and rescue his colleague, but before he could, the entire building collapsed, killing his friend. After hearing this, the god of murder declares Kim innocent and releases him. Now the 4 of them board a boat and head toward Kim's next trial, the trial before the god of indolence. This trial is for people who were lazy, didn't do their work properly, or didn't live their lives responsibly. Before the trial begins, Kim asks the 3 angels why they are helping him. Angel C explains that King Yomra, the ruler of the afterlife, made a promise to them. If they help 49 souls get reborn, they will also get a chance to be reborn. However, they only have 49 days to help each soul pass all 7 trials. This process is only possible for paragon souls, not regular souls. Since Kim is a paragon, he has a good chance of passing the trials within 49 days. The angels have already helped 47 souls before him, and Kim is their 48th. However, Kim says that he doesn't want to be reborn. Angel A tells him that he doesn't have a choice. Only King Yomra can decide that. Now the 4 of them reach the goddess of indolence for Kim's second trial. The goddess is shown everything about Kim's life, including how he risked his life to save others. She is highly impressed and says, "You should have a statue made in your honor. How did you manage to do all of this?" Kim replies, "I did it all for money." Hearing this, the goddess of indolence becomes furious. She says, "So money is your god? You must be punished for choosing money over everything else." Kim is standing on a wooden platform above water. Suddenly, the platform starts sliding backward, pushing him toward a giant waterfall. When he looks down, he sees thousands of souls suffering in agony. Before he can fall, Angel A and Angel B jump into the water and stop the platform. They argue that Kim never lived a lazy life. He worked tirelessly, driving, cleaning, and even risking his life as a firefighter. While he worked for money, it wasn't for selfish reasons. He needed the money for his mother's medical treatment and to support his younger brother's education. After hearing this, the goddess of indolence says that even though Kim worked for money, he didn't do it for himself. He did it for his family. Because of this, she forgives him, and Kim successfully passes his second trial. Now he has completed 2 trials. Next, they move on to the hell of deceit, where people who have lied or betrayed others are punished. On their way, a group of demons suddenly attacks them. The 3 guardian angels are shocked because nothing like this has ever happened before. Guardian Angel A says that this could mean Kim's mother or brother was murdered on Earth, and their souls are seeking revenge. That's why these demons attacked. If they want Kim to complete all 7 trials, they must get to the bottom of this. Angel A then leaves for Earth to investigate. Meanwhile, Guardian Angel B and Guardian Angel C continue taking Kim to his next trial. At the hell of deceit, Kim is accused of 2 things. First, he is charged with lying to the daughter of his colleague, the one who died when the building collapsed. After her father's death, Kim wrote letters to her, pretending to be her father, and hid the truth from her. When she eventually found out, she was devastated. Second, he is accused of lying to his mother. He told her that he was married and had a son, but that wasn't true. In reality, Kim had left home 15 years ago and never returned. Kim is asked why he told these lies, but he stays silent. As a punishment, vines wrap around his entire body, and his tongue is about to be cut off. At that moment, Guardian Angel C steps forward and says, "I want to say something." She explains that even though Kim lied, he never did it for personal gain. Kim didn't want his colleague's daughter to know the truth because she was too young at the time. She needed to focus on her studies and her future, not be burdened by grief. Because of his letters, she grew up happy and focused on her education. By the time she learned the truth, she was already an adult and strong enough to handle it. Similarly, he lied to his mother because she was seriously ill. When she heard that her son was happily married and had a child, she felt at peace and started recovering. In the end, Kim only told these lies to protect the people he loved. After hearing this, all the charges against him are dropped, and he passes the 3rd trial. The 3 move forward to their next trial. Meanwhile, on Earth, we see Guardian Angel A. He goes to Kim's house and learns that it's not Kim's mother, but his younger brother, Jim, who has died. Angel A pulls Jim's soul out of a picture and asks, "How did you die? Where is your body?" But Jim's soul runs away. Angel A chases him, but he escapes. Angel A then uses his powers to find out how Jim died. Angel A travels to the past and sees Jim with his friend. They hug, but by accident, Jim's friend's gun goes off. Jim's friend runs to get his senior officer, but by the time they return, Jim is already dead. The senior officer gets very angry, but then thinks for a moment and tells Jim's friend, "You didn't do this on purpose. It was a mistake, but we need to get rid of the body quickly." He makes this decision because his promotion is coming up next month. If his superiors find out, his promotion will be canceled. So he and Jim's friend take Jim's body deep into the forest and secretly bury him. No one knows where Jim is buried. The next day, military officers visit Jim's house and tell his mother, "Your son has abandoned his duty. If he contacts you, you must inform us." Everyone believes Jim ran away from his responsibilities. Angel A finally finds Jim's soul and traps it near a building. He tells him, "You must come with me to the afterlife. If you refuse, your brother Kim will never be forgiven." Jim replies, "What brother? The one who left us 15 years ago? I don't know him, and I won't go with you. I will take revenge on those people for my death, because I was alive when they buried me. They buried me alive." Hearing this, Angel A remembers his own past when he was human. Then he takes Jim with him and shows him something important. Jim sees his best friend standing outside Jim's house, drunk and miserable. He hands Jim's mother a map. The map has a red mark, the exact place where Jim was buried. Jim's friend does this because he deeply regrets what happened and loved Jim like a brother. Then, filled with guilt, Jim's friend goes to a quiet place to commit suicide. Jim watches in horror and tells Angel A, "Help him! Save him!" Angel A shakes his head. "I can't. We cannot interfere with life and death. It's against the rules." Jim gets angry. "Save my friend, and I'll do whatever you say." Angel A has no choice but to help. He cuts the rope, saving Jim's friend's life. On the other side, in the afterlife, Kim has shown that he has successfully passed 3 trials. Now 2 more trials remain. However, these trials, Hell of Injustice and Hell of Betrayal, are skipped for him because he has never deceived or wronged anyone in his life. Now he moves on to his 6th trial, Hell of Violence. When they reach Hell of Violence, Kim is accused of once beating his younger brother badly, even when his brother was very sick. Kim has no answer, and neither do Guardian Angels B and C. Just as Kim is about to be punished, Guardian Angels B and C C contact Guardian Angel A, who is still on Earth. They inform him about Kim's situation. Guardian Angel A tells them, demand that Kim's final judgment be given at the end. Hearing this, the god of violence is shocked. This means that if Kim is found guilty in the final trial, all three Guardian Angels, A, B, and C, will be punished along with him. Now, Kim is taken to the next trial. Meanwhile, on Earth, Guardian Angel A has finally helped Jim understand the truth, and Jim's soul becomes peaceful. Meanwhile, in the other world, Kim is shown moving forward for the final trial, called filial piety. He and the three angels walk through a desert. Angel C asks Kim, did you really try to kill your mother? Actually, the trial was about how 15 years ago he had tried to kill his mother. Kim reveals the truth. Yes, I did. 15 years ago, we had no money for food. My mother was extremely sick. I couldn't bear to watch her suffer, so I decided to end her pain. I planned to kill her first, then my brother, and finally myself. But when I tried to smother her with a pillow, my younger brother stopped me. Out of frustration, I beat him, even though he was already sick. But after that day, I was filled with guilt, so I left home. From then on, I dedicated my life to providing for my mother and brother. I never met them again, but I sent letters and worked hard only for them. Meanwhile, on Earth, Jim and Guardian Angel A visit Jim's old workplace. Jim sees his mother holding the map his friend had given her. The map shows the exact location where Jim's body was buried. Jim's former senior officer sees the map and panics. In fear, he pushes Jim's mother. Seeing this, Jim's soul becomes furious. He creates a massive storm and prepares to kill his former officer. But just then, Jim sees something shocking in the sky. Kim is sinking into the sand. This happens because Jim is about to commit a sin. His anger and unwillingness to forgive his brother are affecting Kim's trial in the afterlife. And after seeing this, Jim decides not to kill his senior. In the afterlife, Kim now stands before King Yomra for his final judgment. He is accused of trying to kill his mother. However, a shocking truth is revealed. Kim's mother was awake that night. She knew what Kim was trying to do, but she was willing to die. She wanted her children to live without suffering. She didn't want them to bear the burden of her illness. Hearing this truth, Kim breaks down in tears. He tells King Yomra, I accept my punishment. I deserve it. Just as his punishment is about to be announced, something unexpected happens. A giant image of Kim's mother appears in the sand. It reveals her dream. In her dream, Kim comes to see her and confesses everything. She tells him, you were never at fault. I was never angry with you. I forgave you long ago. Even though Kim never met her for 15 years, everything he did was for her and his brother. He worked tirelessly to support them. King Yomra then declares, if someone is forgiven on Earth, they cannot be punished in the afterlife. Kim has now passed his 6th and 7th trials. Even Jim forgives him, completing the final test. King Yomra grants Kim a second life. He can now be reborn on Earth. Kim's soul shines with purity. He thanks Angel C, and then his soul disappears. On Earth, Jim sees Guardian Angels A and B holding a special card, the Paragon card. This means that Kim was a paragon, a pure soul. Now the angels have one more mission, to guide one more soul to justice within 49 days. If they succeed, they too will be granted rebirth. In the final scene, the three guardian angels take Jim's soul into the afterlife. Their ultimate goal, to help Jim find justice and achieve rebirth within 49 days. And with that, the story ends. The ending of Along with the Gods. The two worlds is deeply emotional and satisfying, tying together themes of redemption, forgiveness, and justice. Kim's journey through the 7 trials is not just about proving his innocence. It's about confronting his past, understanding his mistakes, and seeking closure with his family. What makes the finale powerful is how it resolves both Kim's and Jim's stories. Jim's anger and desire for revenge nearly lead him down a dark path, but seeing Kim suffer in the afterlife makes him realize the importance of forgiveness. His choice to let go of his hatred is what ultimately allows Kim to pass the final trial. The twist that Kim's mother always knew his intentions and forgave him long ago adds another layer of depth. It's a heartbreaking revelation that shows how parents often carry silent burdens for their children. The idea that forgiveness on Earth prevents punishment in the afterlife is a touching message, one that reminds us of the power of love and understanding. The final moments where the guardian angels prepare to help Jim find justice leave the story open-ended in the best way. It hints at another journey, another soul-seeking redemption, and keeps the audience invested in what comes next. Overall, the ending balances action, emotion, and philosophical depth beautifully. It teaches that redemption isn't just about proving innocence. It's about learning from the past and finding peace, both in life and after death.